Thank you, Madam Chair, members. This might be the first time I've ever been hesitant to stand up and speak in this chamber. And the reason for that hesitancy is I recognize the fact that I'm in an active state of being educated. And it's always dangerous to get up and say something when you're in the process of learning. And so I think I'll talk perhaps more for the sake of the members on my side of the aisle, and just kind of share my experience of interacting with this issue and working with Vice Chair Keeler in the Children and Families Committee, and how it is that I came to be wearing the only orange article of men's clothing I could find at Target today. For some reason, I was feeling ambitious on the weekend before we were going to have that joint committee hearing to hear all the testimony on this bill, and I was looking over this bill, and I had some questions about just some technical language. I knew that it wasn't a particularly substantive question. I just didn't understand how it functioned, and I was curious from a nerdy technical perspective. And so I sent an email to Representative Keeler asking for her to clarify. And she responded to that email with such enthusiasm that somebody was interested in learning anything at all about this issue, that she provided me with more resources than I could possibly have ever asked for, indeed more than I did ask for. And what struck me as I learned about the history that has led up to this bill, and what it is that's being achieved with it, why it is that it's even was authored in the first place. I don't know if it's been spoken to yet, I might not have caught it, but the Supreme Court case that's ongoing at the federal level that potentially could create a gap that this bill will fill. There were certain concepts that rang as important to me and as universal to us all. The idea of sovereignty. Sovereignty is just self-determination. It's integrity. It's identity. And I think that's something that everybody here cares about. We focus on the concept in different ways. We tend to shift the way that we think about it and the aspects of it that we focus on depending upon the circumstances, but we all care about it. We all care about controlling our own sphere and maintaining what we have and preserving it and passing it on from generation to generation. The transmission of culture. That's important. That's what this bill is for. It's to ensure that a culture, which I heard today is 1% of the population of Minnesota. Can I get a head nod on that? 1%. Thank you, Representative Kozlowski. And when I reflect upon that, it makes me think of another word that we often think of in different ways, and that word is minority. I look over here, we like to talk a lot about the individual. And I like to think of the individual as the ultimate minority. You can't get less than one, not when you're counting people. And so I would, again, if there's anyone on my side who's wondering why I went to Target, it's because our value of the individual is a value of the concept of the minority. It's our value of the importance of ensuring that when you're outnumbered, you're not overrun. And there's some folks in the room who can make the case that they've been overrun. And so I'm standing in support of this because I think it's the right thing to do. I've read the bill. I think the substance of the bill and what it does, what it provides for, doesn't intrude upon anybody's rights. It upholds rights. It ensures potential for the integrity of culture and the transmission of identity and values. I don't know that I know anybody in my life, anybody in my circle that is going to be directly impacted by this, but I'm glad that people will be. So, thank you.